We're starting our coverage here at Freedom Fest with Keith Fitz-Gerald. He's the Chief Market Strategist for Total Wealth Research. He's also a contributor for Money Morning. Keith, so good to have you back on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here, as always.
And you came off a hot panel this morning, bull versus a bear, a lot of divergent views there. So let's talk about these markets. We spoke before Brexit. A lot has changed. How do you see things right now?
Well, here's the thing, investors have to ask themselves, do they want to be right or do they want to be profitable? And there's a big difference. People who want to be right are generally going to be concerned about government data, and it sounds really scary, and this is terrible, and oh boy, I better not get out of bed in the morning. People who are going to be profitable are going to be concentrating on what they should be doing, finding things that are going to grow, finding things that are valuable, finding things that have the future in mind, not the past.
So what's valuable for you? What are you liking?
Well, aside from the normal stocks and things, you've got to look at a couple things. To me, this is a very simple process. Everybody says it's very complicated. It's very, very simple when you get down to it. What's the unstoppable trends in the world right now? Stuff that central banks can't screw up, Washington can't hijack, and Wall Street can't take away from you. So these are things like defense, demographics, specialized medicine. Water is a big one I spoke on the panel about tonight. And that's what you want to think about as an investor. Metals are absolutely important. Gold, for example, as you know, I made the comment a couple months ago, is no longer optional. You need to have something like that in your portfolio.
All right, so you're bullish gold.
Well, I have to have gold. Whether it's bullish or bearish, I'll let somebody else define. But I believe every investor needs to have it.
All right. One quote that everyone kind of laughed at today was when you said, Yellen hasn't met a printing press she hasn't liked. What's your viewpoint on the Fed? What do you think they should be doing? How do you see the central bank's moves right now?
Well, I think the Fed should hang up a door that says out of business. They really have no relevance in today's world. They've lost control of bond markets, and their interest rates are nothing more than make it up as they go along. So that having been said, you can use that positively as an investor, because if you know the government doesn't want to lose, then you know what? That's an engraved invitation as to how you can think about the markets and profit.
It's an election year, and that's obviously a big focus here. It's primarily a libertarian conference. How do you see the market set up? What can we expect post-election? A lot more volatility here?
I think so, and if you look at that, there's a logical reason for that. You have one candidate, presumptively Donald Trump, you have another candidate, presumptively Hillary Clinton. The two are diametrically opposed in how they view things. What the market wants is neither of them. What the market wants is certainty, and as long as the candidate, whoever gets elected, conveys certainty, then I think the markets are going to be just fine. To the extent that the markets come in and they do not promote certainty, you know what, all bets are off.
And polls show them in a dead heat. Do you have any sentiment? Do you think who could take it possibly?
Oh, I'm not smart enough to figure these things out. I try to stay out of that. I'm interested in being profitable, not concerned about being right.
All right. So finally, just to wrap, final thoughts for investors. What advice would you like to give people as how they should be positioning themselves right now?
I think you want to be aggressive. I'm very excited by markets because volatility inevitably creates opportunity. Most people view it as a fearful thing, but if you look at it, that's not how it works. The biggest profits always go to those who buy low and sell high, and you get your chance to buy low every time volatility makes its appearance. So I'm on the hunt for certain kinds of technology and certain kinds of metals, certain kinds of things that are going to be must-haves in the world that we will live in the days to come, not the world that we lived in the past.
Keith Fitz-Gerald, thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for joining us on Kitco News.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for watching our coverage. We just started. We'll have a lot more guests coming on, so be sure to stay tuned the next few days.